I do appreciate everyone. Today is that day we've been clamoring for, and we thank God we're all here. Every other people that are on their way, they'll be joining us. For today, my name is Matthew Olowokere, and I'm the Chief Executive of this project. Among every other member of the team, I have behind the camera here, Andrew, and we have our resource person as Mr. Solomon, and also we have the project coordinators as Janet Walcott. And everyone that is here, I really want to appreciate everyone. I can't mention names now because I can see we are getting much and much and much now, but I say welcome to all of you. This project is about reaching champions, dementia champions. Dementia champions in the sense that we want to produce champions that can help people with dementia. If you watch my video or if you didn't have access to it, it's just about, racing champions and many other things. And our resource person will be doing justice to how we are going to go about this, the role of a champion, who is a champion, and what are the works of the champions. We'll be very happy if you have not registered, because this is a certificated program, which the certificate you can use anywhere. And then we can even link you up to where you can use it as well. It will be much appreciated. Like I said, if you have not registered, go on our website, www.aielife.co.uk. The registration is highlighted, and you can just click on it, register yourself. It will be very much appreciated as well if everyone that registered with their email stay throughout this program, stay out through this training, because it's essential. In as much as we are going to give you certificate, because if you are not there, you will not know what we are going to talk about. This is why we want you to do that. More so, we will want your name to be on our database. This is the importance of registering on our online. And more also, when you are on our database, the next program which will be coming in future, you will be always be invited. And a lot of opportunity will definitely come out of it. And I want to say thank you to everybody. And I want to say thank you to our resource person, Mr. Solomon, and everybody that is here, and even that are not yet here. God bless you all. Thank you. You can, Mr. Solomon, our resource person, Ibu trainer, who is almost known worldwide. You are going to enjoy him. You are most welcome, Mr. Solomon.
Right. Thank you, everyone. And I'm sure if you can see me right now, you should be able to see my video. And I hope we're going to have a very good time together in the course of this. So we as potential and already made champions, and those who are already in the field will be able to take advantage of the things we're going to be doing today. So as I try to continue, I just take a little moment to call everyone one after the other. Just try to introduce yourself to us and tell us how long you've been working in social care, so we'll be able to include the kind of learning you require for this training. So I'm going to just take us one after the other. Just tell us your name and how long you've been working in social care. And also, if there's something you want to tell us about dementia, you can quickly do that for us just in 60 seconds. So I'm going to start with the name on my screen, Veronica. If Veronica can hear me, please, you can unmute yourself and just tell us a little about yourself, how long you have been in the industry, and also what you will like us to talk about today about dementia, or what you know about dementia, or assignments, whichever way you want to call it. The main essence of this is to be able to come to a point of conclusion and give you enough resources that will guide you going forward in the field that you have chosen to work. So I'm just going to take us one after the other. I'm going to call Veronica. If you're there, please just tell us that as quick as possible. If Veronica is trying to come up, Veronica, thank you for muting yourself.
Yeah,
Please go
yeah,
ahead.
I'm here. Can you hear
Yes, we
me?
can, Veronica.
You can hear me. Yes, thanks
Yes.
very much for this program. Yeah, like you said, my name is Veronica. My surname is Haneto. I've been in healthcare for about 35 years. And
Oh,
my main my joy in journey is back home when I was in Africa. I have seen cases of dementia which they attributed to witches and wizards, you see. But coming to this part of the world, I came to realize how the stigmatization and stuff, but at least I've had much knowledge about it now, and I'm quite happy to join this group so we can have a way forward, especially as it affects the Afro Caribbean countries as well. And so we can have input to ourselves and have input on how even to take it far and wide. So it is a very interesting program which I'm happy to join. And again, healthcare in itself is a broad thing. And when we talk of dementia and Alzheimer's diseases, they are conditions which were it has a lot of things, a lot of input, a lot of help that we can give, a lot of information, a lot of guidance, and sort of enlighten people on what to do at each given time. Thank you.
thank you so much. That was so very fantastic and good enough for us to start with. I've taken note of some things from what you've said. I'll just quickly go to Malik. Malik, by the name I can see on my screen. Malik, please could you help us? Could you tell us something about yourself while you're in the class, and if you have something to say about dementia, very quickly. Thank you.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Malik Lamidi. I think I'm here because I'm a key worker on my rota, and mostly I've been working professionally, I've been working for 7 months in healthcare department. What I know about dementia, it's mainly memory loss. And when I got to the UK, I understood there are different types of dementia. Some people forget everything. Some people forget some things. Some people has to do with the time. So I think I'm just here to learn more and know really how to handle these things. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Thank you for helping us together. I'm just going to take the name Shola that I can see right there. Shola by name. Shola by name. If you're there, Shola, please could you just tell us about yourself and how long you've been in the industry and what you're looking up to today? Shola by name. If I don't give, while we're waiting for that, can we take Reverend Tony? If we have Reverend Tony, I can see Reverend Tony right here. Reverend Tony, if we can have Reverend Tony tell us something about dementia or why you're here. Please, if you can unmute yourself, that would be great. While we wait for Reverend Tony, if we can have Motunrayo. Reverend Tony, thank you for unmuting yourself. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Tony. I am a hospital chaplain. Unfortunately, I'm not showing my face because I'm on duty, so I might be going in and out of the program as it goes on. However, my experience with dementia, the people that have the dementia, spans several years. I remember very well my dad had dementia before he died, and I knew it was a situation where someone that has been diagnosed with dementia appeared to have lost his or her dignity, because the things they do normally, they cannot do them. They roam about at times within the house, they forget things, they have memory loss. And what I have learned over time is that we need to understand them. We need to understand, we need to be empathic, we need to be compassionate in dealing with them. However, I am hoping that my presence at this training will increase my knowledge. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much. It's interesting to have people like you with so much experience in this, and I believe very well that we'll be able to walk around this, explain certain things to ourselves and the rest. If you please, for everyone in the call in this, please, if you can help us to put on your videos, so we could that will help us to actually talk to you and even see your signs, and apart from the communication. And also we like to put some names to your faces in the course of this, so we can ask appropriate questions as we move on. Okay, so we're going to start very quickly. I'm just going to give the administrator 10 seconds to quickly check the waiting room, as I'm told there are people waiting in the waiting room.
Yeah, the recent person has been admitted into the meeting.
Okay, thank you. Also, please, just to let us know, in the course of this training, you will see some polls on your screen. We just encourage you to help us to make a vote, so we can have a full understanding about what we are doing, and now be able to check people's mind about the subject that we are talking about today. One of the most interesting things I've heard today was exactly what Veronica explained, where the misconception about dementia. Some say is voodoo, some say in Africa is associated to being charmed and all of that and the rest. Of course, a majority of people will think like that, because except you have understanding about something, you may not even be able to provide solutions for it, and you could make series of assumptions about it, and it's not going to work. So my name is Victor Solomon, and I have been doing this for several number of years. I'm an healthcare professional management advisor, and also both in the UK and outside the UK as well. And I work with local authority, I work with Care Quality Commission, and I work with a lot of organizations in trying to make sure the healthcare regulations, sometimes we need policy amendments, recommend policy amendment to local authorities, to government at federal levels, and all of that. And I'm also a dementia champion. So it's good to be with you today and show you the path towards which you can become one of the champions that we are hoping to have. So I'm going to share my screen with you. You're just going to be seeing my screen, and that will help us to also see the things that we are talking about today. Not just talking, not just saying it, but at least you can see in pictures the things we are talking about today. So if you see the pool, if you see the pool on your screen, please endeavor to vote. That will help us to now come to a conclusion as a people in looking at the subject matter. If you can see my screen, just say yes. Can you see my screen, please? Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, today we are talking about dementia champion. I'm a resource person for this, for Aiye Live. I was invited to deliver this, and I'm glad to be here and also to help you about dementia, help you understand dementia and how you can become a champion in dementia. So if you don't mind, if you're comfortable with that, please switch on your videos. It will help me to pick your face and also talk to you more. Okay, let's look at this very well. You know, let's compare the brain to a tree. This is how a healthy brain look like. It's just like a tree. You see the leaves are green. The tree is full of leaves. So beautiful to behold. That's how human brain is meant to be. That's how human brain is designed to look like. And you see, the problem with dementia is that dementia changes this idea completely. Dementia changes this look completely. Dementia takes the brain from being green this way to this image that you can see. The leaves start losing itself. The brain start losing its functions. Where it's like when you're walking on the street and you see a tree without leaves on it. That's how a dementia brain or Alzheimer's brain is. Everything starts going off one after the other. So the same thing, yeah, you see, it goes from that beautiful green tree to this empty red tree. That's how a dementia brain look like. So I'm told people are waiting in the waiting room. Please, if the administrator can check the waiting room. Okay, I can check as well, I'm told. So you have people like that. Suddenly the brain is just gone from, the brain is gone from what is supposed to be to suddenly it's become that empty brain. It's become that brain that nobody desire anything about. It's become that green brain. You see, that beautiful green brain is gone. That is now the empty brain. The beautiful one is gone. It's changed already. And what has changed all of this? This is how it is. A brain moving from being healthy to suddenly being empty. That's how a dementia brain, that's how an Alzheimer's brain is. That's why you see it's so difficult to understand people when they have it. And when people start to react to them, when people start to react to somebody that have cognitive challenge, they don't understand that the green brain is suddenly gone off. They don't understand that the beautiful green brain is suddenly become empty. And there is no way you can compare both of them together. There's no way you can compare them anymore. The brain is no longer healthy. The brain is no longer green. So, and you have to put yourself in a position that you can understand that. You have to understand that first before you can help. You have to understand that the brain is no longer green. The brain is no longer healthy. You have to understand that first before you can offer help to anyone. If you don't understand, when I see dementia patient, when I see dementia service user, the first thing that comes to my mind is the image of a tree like this. That suddenly the leaves are gone. The brain is no longer green. And that helps me to know that I should not expect a fruit from it. I shouldn't expect a fruit from this tree that has lost all its leaves already. So you don't expect cognitive activities. You don't expect active participation, respect, dignity from someone that is already impaired by dementia. So that's one of the first understanding that we must have. The other part that I want us to understand today is this. Dementia is always a shock to everybody that is diagnosed for it. It's always a shock. You see, in Africa and some part of the world, in some part of Asia, dementia is interpreted as madness. It's interpreted as madness. They don't give it any other meaning. They don't give it any other name. They just say this person is mad. That's why they don't believe. That's why some people think it's witchcraftly, or some people think it's charm. Some people think somebody has done something to you, without understanding that this is majorly a disease. Somebody doesn't need to charm you. Somebody needs to do something to you. It is a disease. That's why it's always a shock to anyone diagnosed for dementia. It's a shock to them. It's a shock to their family. And also, one of the things I want us to understand today is that the dementia is not only for old people. It's not only old people that have dementia. There's what we call the young onset dementia, which is a dementia that can start from the age of 35. From the age of 35, you can have an onset dementia, a young onset dementia on someone. And they can have it 35, 40. You know, majorly dementia starts at the age of 65 for older adults. But we've seen it, the onset dementia, the young onset dementia, we've seen it over time. From 35 years old, 36, 40, we see people with dementia. And they live with it. So our duty as a champion is to recognize that it is not an old man disease. Of course, it's majorly that, but it's not. A young person can have it. From the age of 35, they could be diagnosed for it. They could start having it. And also, somebody want to ask, what is this dementia? What is this dementia? See, dementia is not just one word. Dementia is not that, oh, yeah, this is dementia. No, dementia is an umbrella. It's a combination of different things. Now I'm going to explain that to us today so that we have understanding of this as we seek to become a champion, to become champions of dementia. Dementia is not just a word. It's not just say this person has dementia. No, that's not it. Dementia is an umbrella word with a combination of several activities, several things happening at the same time. We said there is Alzheimer's, which you know Alzheimer's, which is the major contributor to dementia, the major part of dementia. Then we have the vascular disease, which also is part of which also causes dementia. We have the lewy body, which causes dementia. We have the frontotemporal lobe, which causes dementia. So dementia is just an umbrella word for several types of diseases. It's not that if you say this person has dementia, what is the disease? Because one of the things I want you to understand, and I'm going to explain that very clearly today, is this. If you understand the disease under the umbrella of dementia, you will know definitely if this is something that can be healed of, or something that can be permanent. So you don't say she has dementia because she has dementia, that's the end of his or her life. No, that's not true. It depends on what type of dementia is related to this person. That's what is going to determine what effect it will have overall on this person's life. So dementia is an umbrella word. It's just an umbrella word for a variety of diseases. And we say that, we should understand as champions that the fact that Mr. A has dementia and Mr. B has dementia doesn't mean they're going to behave the same way. They're going to behave very differently. Why? It depends on the stage of their dementia. The stage of the dementia is going to determine how they will behave. It's going to determine the kind of activity you see from them. It's going to determine the way they respond to things. That's how dementia works. And if you don't understand it, you will feel that everybody that have dementia should be. I've seen people say to residents, but that man too has dementia, but he doesn't behave like him. Why is he being too rude to me? Yeah, they both have dementia, but they can't behave the same way because it depends on the stages they are and what part of their brain is affected. Let's look at the structure of the brain because this is going to help us to understand dementia a little better. If you can see my screen, the brain have five major parts of the brain. You have the frontal lobe of the brain, you have the temporal lobe, you have the parental lobe, you have the occipital lobe, you have the cerebellum area. Now, every part of this brain help us to function, help us to move. The cerebellum help you to move. It controls your movement. That's why from there it goes to your spinal cord, go to the back. It regulates your movement, sends signals to your nerves and to your systems. And because the brain is designed this way, any part of the brain that is affected also determine what area of our life is affected. I'm sure a lot of us have walked into a restaurant before. When you walk into a restaurant and you see somebody eating a very nice meal, you like the meal, you just saw it. And as you walk into the restaurant and you see the meal, you like it, you want to eat it. But you can't jump to take the food from the person. You walk to the counter and order yours. Why do you think you do that? But a dementia patient or service user will not do that. If he sees the food, he's going to come, take the meat or whatever is in the food and put it in his mouth and walk away. Why? The problem is, what makes you see the food and not touch it? And what makes a dementia person to see the food and touches the food is because the frontal lobe of a dementia patient is damaged already. The frontal lobe is the barrier, is the control that you have. That's what makes you see you see, when a dementia person calls a black man black monkey, he doesn't know. You also have seen a white man before that you want to call a nasty name, but you control yourself because your frontal lobe is working, which is your guide and your structure that create barriers for your actions. But for a dementia patient, that frontal lobe is damaged. There is no filter anymore. So every action that runs through his emotion, he acts on it. He calls you by name. He hits your body. He says nasty things to you. He takes things and stone you, despite the fact that you're trying to help. Because the brain is damaged. The structure that protects his action is already gone away. And when that is done, there is no other solution to it. All you're going to do as a champion is how to manage that situation, because there is nothing you can do to the frontal lobe to restore it back. Here is a structure. Here is a structure of this is a normal brain on the left side, and on your right side is a dementia brain. So what happened is, when dementia or Alzheimer's steps in, what they do is that they shrink the brain. They bring it down. It's like you have there's something that there's this insect that eats up into things and make it carcass. It makes it empty. So what this disease does is that it starts eating up every part of the brain. Now you see the healthy brain, suddenly the good brain is shrinking away. That's why you see they don't take time to think. They don't take time to process anything. Why? The brain is already shrinked already. The brain is damaged. There is nothing there. And as the disease begins to progress, as it begins to move up, as it begins to run down, the brain will continue to shrink until the brain is totally off and finished. That's why you see
free certificate. Free to attend, free certificate.
Is everybody, are you following me? Is everybody hearing me? Can you hear me, please?
Yes, carry on, yeah.
Thank you. So as the disease continue to progress, the brain continue to shrink. As the brain continue to shrink, you see they lose more actions as they go, because the shrinking of the brain is what dictates the stages of dementia. And as it begins to damage, this is what happened. You have the frontal lobe that does your action. You have the occipital behind, you have the parental lobe. All of this control your smells. That's why you see, as the brain begins to damage, the man is not only losing control of himself by the damage of the frontal lobe, he's also losing control of his smells. He's also, he can pull on himself and still feel comfortable. He can pull on himself and say, I want to travel to the United States. Why? Because the part of the brain that helps him to sense that is also destroyed. Because as dementia and Alzheimer's begin to progress, the brain begins to shrink. Then it doesn't become a normal brain anymore. Because the understanding of this will help you to provide appropriate support to your colleague, to your managers, to your team, and also to the people that you serve who have dementia and Alzheimer's diseases. Now, let's get this today. I'm just going to make a difference. People have been hearing me say Alzheimer's and dementia. There are two different things. Although they both lead to loss of cognitive abilities. But here is it. A dementia, another major difference between the two is Alzheimer's is not reversible. You can't reverse Alzheimer's disease. It's just going to be getting worse by the day. But you see, once dementia is found, an appropriate treatment and counseling begin until a proper diagnosis is made, you can reverse it. But you cannot reverse an Alzheimer's. It's going to be there forever. But a dementia patient can be supported with activities that they can do in their life, they can work with in their life, and they can be better, which is the duties of the champions. Because a lot of us conclude when people have dementia, or you just get somebody has been diagnosed for dementia, we think that's the end of their life. No, that's not the end of their life. Because there are activities that we can do. There are things we can do. This is what happened in Africa. Somebody have this Alzheimer's disease or dementia disease because they cannot diagnose it, because they cannot help with it, or because there are no nursing home or facility for them to go to. The next place you find them is on the street. You find them on the street, you find them everywhere, their family deny them, and suddenly they make a conclusion that is a voodoo or is a charm, or somebody has done something to them, without realizing that if this is dementia, yes, we can get engaged with it. With appropriate care, they can still live a good life. So now let's look at who are dementia champions. Let's look at, today we have checked dementia, we have seen what dementia is, we have checked it and we have looked at it, but we're going to go to who are dementia champions. Who are dementia champions? Dementia champions are advocates. They are not carers. They are not just nurses. I've seen people say, "Oh, I have been trained I have training in dementia. I have training in this." There is a difference between a support worker, a carer, a nurse, and a dementia champion. There are two different things. So, a dementia champion is an advocate for dementia. The person advocates for dementia patient and their family. A source of information and support. They push policies. They push things forward. That's what a dementia advocate is. They are not just carers who go to nursing home and work, or go to community and work, or go to somewhere and work. No, that's not their duty. They are working, but they are advocates. They are working on the field, but they are saying to themselves, I am a dementia champion. I am here to provide knowledge and support for anybody diagnosed for dementia. I am not a nurse that is meant to give medication to. Let's get it right. I am not a carer that is just there to provide personal care. No, that's not me. A dementia champion is different. A dementia champion is like an inspector, checking what is going on, looking at activities that is happening, ensuring that the image of dementia runs in their mind more than it runs in the mind of a nurse. Runs in their mind more than it runs in the mind of a carer. That's how a dementia champion thinks. So they are not ordinary carers. They are not ordinary people. They are champions. They are policy makers. That's why when there are elections for communities, the election for at national level, they invite these people to come and talk. They invite dementia champions to come and talk. They invite healthcare practitioners to come and talk. And when they go to such meeting, they are talking to people about dementia patient. Oh, you are asking us to vote for you. What would you do to be different for people with dementia? What type of fund will you make available for people with dementia? At work, they are the ones saying to their managers and saying, Mrs. So have dementia, but we don't think she's receiving the best of care. So these are the duties of dementia champion. They are advocates. They speak on behalf of dementia patients. They speak on behalf of people diagnosed for dementia. A nurse might not be able to do that. A carer might not be able to do that. But a dementia advocate, a dementia champion is designed to do that on behalf of the dementia patient. They don't do that for people they know alone. They could do that for their neighbor that is diagnosed for dementia. They could do that for their friend that is diagnosed for dementia. They could provide information to people that are diagnosed for dementia. I said, these are the places to go to if you want to talk about dementia. These are the information you need for your husband that is just diagnosed for dementia. Are we following me? So I would like us to take the first poll today and just help us to answer this question. It's going to pop up on your screen. Just click yes or no into the question. And the question is going to be launched. We just launched the question. If you look at your screen, you will see it. Are dementia patients treated fairly? Do you think dementia patients are treated fairly? Please just vote. Just click yes or no. Yes, we can see the vote coming in. Do you think dementia patients are treated fairly? If you just click it on your screen, if an answer, then we discuss it at the end of the poll. So we expect 14 people to answer. We've got an answer from a few. So please just click on your screen. Do you think dementia patients are treated fairly? In your understanding, do you think people with dementia are treated fairly? Do you think people with dementia are treated fairly? Yes or no? Do you think government treat them fairly? Do you think carers treat them fairly? Do you think their family treat them fairly? Do you think nurses treat them fairly? So let's just get that. Please help us to vote. Do you think dementia patients are treated fairly? Please let's get the vote coming in. Let's get it coming in. Let's get it coming in. It's popped on your screen. Just select yes or no for us so that we can go on. Just select yes or no if you think they are treated fairly. If you think they are not treated fairly, just select and let's, yeah, it's on your screen. The poll is on your screen. Can everyone see the poll?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
So, yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you.
Is it? Where is it?
You care for people with dementia and their families, source of information and support for those.
Thank you. So we're going to end the poll now. Thank you so much. Now, from this poll, this is what we have gotten on this poll. And 70% of our participants today feel that dementia patients are not treated fairly. In the pool that we have, 70% feel they are not treated fairly, and 30% feel they are treated fairly. Now, I'm just going to ask a few questions from two people that voted. Can somebody just volunteer to us? Why do you think they are not treated fairly? Why do you think they are not treated fairly? Can somebody just volunteer to tell us why do you think we have so high number of 73% of our participants today saying that dementia patients are not treated fairly? Somebody, can you volunteer and help us to say that?
Can I answer that question, please?
Yes, please. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Well, because I have been there before, I work with people with dementia for 13 and a half years. And I could see in some of people, even from relatives, from friends, you know, the way some of these people are treated, probably because of the lack of the knowledge on how to manage these people,
Yeah.
even back in their home, immediately they have issues at home, they see it differently. And they think, well, maybe just like rightly said during the course of your training, some believe they are mad, and because they had a little bit of talking, I wouldn't say knowledge, you know, that dementia people, they can never be useful in any form anymore. That is in their head, that because they've had dementia, they can't be useful for anything. There are stages at which they are not able to do that. But there are stages which I believe, according to what you have said, that if they are diagnosed early and managed early, they will not graduate to a state of which people will not be able to cope with them in their home or in the community.
Yes.
So what is in their head is that they are mad. Immediately they start forgetting. And when somebody is forgetful and getting frustrated and reacting, they think is mad without proper diagnosis. I think a lot of this happens. So many people have died, most especially because of my experience. Like I said, people died because there is no proper diagnosis at the first stage. There is no proper treatment or medication. There is no proper psychosocial care, you know, which these people, you know, are expected to have at the initial stage. Prompting to go to hospital was not there because majority will say they are feared, they are scared. Maybe this person is going to run and be run over by the motor vehicle. They call police, they call this and that. A lot of issues are there, Mr. Resource person Solomon.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that contribution. Can we just have one more person to tell us also, why do you think they are not treated fairly, or why do you think they are treated fairly? Elizabeth, do you want to help us, Elizabeth?
Yeah, thank you. My whole opinion is that I can assume in Africa, where we're coming from, which is Nigeria, I can say that they didn't treat fairly. But in UK here, they are treated fairly. Because in UK here, when they discover that they have dementia, they make sure that they are giving them the drugs. They look after them, unless maybe they want to become homeless on themselves. They don't. But in Africa, especially in our country, Nigeria, they don't treat them fairly, because most people they were thinking that maybe they have maybe they are wizard or witches. They don't know. Most of them, they don't know what they call it, dementia. It's only here we know that dementia is happened, and it's not wizard or wishes.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for that contribution. Yes, in the UK, people feel they are treated fairly than some part of Africa. And also we've had concern of the fact that even in the UK, we have this problem with them. We have that. People forget to give them their medication. Some carers react to them, because we have also seen videos of support workers and carers that are captured attending to people with dementia, but at the same time, they are abusing them, hitting them, speaking to them wrongly and all of that. So we also want to be sure that the fact that people have dementia, their dignity should still be preserved. So that's why we say that for dementia champions are not just care workers. They are not carers. They are not nurses. There are people that consciously live with the fact that I have a contribution to make in the field of dementia. I have a contribution to make to help people live better and help others understand that dementia people can still live the best of life. So let's continue quickly. Now let's look at how Alzheimer's or dementia is diagnosed by doctors, and how you as a dementia champion can also come in to help in identifying when there are issues of dementia. Now we have one of the first stages is this has to do with you as a champion having understanding of this. That's why you're having a bit more understanding of what a support worker or carer we have. Sometimes dementia is hereditary. People have dementia because their father had it, their grandfather had it, their mom had it. It's in the family, it's in the blood. So there is tendency that people will have that. So in the course of trying to check people for dementia, people look at their family history. They look at what has happened. Your grandfather, did your grandfather have dementia? Did your grandmother have dementia? Did your father have dementia? Is there somebody in your family that had dementia? So as a champion, you need to know that. You need to acquaint yourself with those type of information to help yourself. We also have physical examination. This you can do with MRI, you can do with PET scan, they can do with CT scan and all of that. They can use to scan the brain and see the function of the brain. The part of the brain that could be damaged. Or is the frontal lobe damaged? Is the cerebrum damaged? What part of the brain is damaged? Is there any damage in the brain or what? What is the matter? So that's part of the other part is also the psychological part of testing, which a support worker can do, a carer can do. Although you cannot, a carer or champion cannot make a conclusion that someone has a dementia. No, you cannot do that. It's only a professional that can do that. Yes. But as a champion, you can see evidences of dementia, so that when you are also speaking to the professionals in charge of it, you'll be able to tell them that, oh, there are these signs coming from my mom. There are these signs coming from my friend. There are these signs coming from my relative. Could you help me to check? Signs such as you can ask a service user and say, oh, where are you right now? And they say, oh, I don't know where I am. Or give you a wrong address. Or say something contrary to you. Or you can say, can you count 1 to 50 from backward? So you have to do 50, 49, 48, 47, 40. Can you do that for me? And if they are missing their words, or they are not able to do the first 10 letters, they are looking at it, going to be able to check their cognitive abilities. Because sometimes their reactions are so small that they are just early stage of dementia. They're just early trigger of dementia. And this is where dementia champions are very, very important. A dementia champion might not be able to treat the stage 7 of dementia. But when it comes to the early stage of dementia, they are there. They want to help. They want to give information. They want to give support. That's why helping them with little information, we really help as dementia champion. Quickly, I'll just make us to watch this video with me. We just watch this video and see what it looked like in asking someone or asking people about dementia, dementia test and all of that. You'll see this. We'll just look at this and see. I just played this for you. If you can see, I'm sure you will see my screen. Now I'm going to share it for us to see. I will be able to just watch this video with me, and I will see what we can do to support people who live with this disease. If you can see my screen, there's a video that's going to pop up, and let's just listen in a minute to this video.
We can't hear anything.
We can't hear.
We can't hear, sir. We can't hear.
Oh, you cannot hear?
No,
we cannot hear.
You cannot hear?
No.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Can't hear anything.
Oh my. I can hear it from here.
Yeah.
Are you here now?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't remember what I started to say. It's just it's the weather. It's the weather. Something's holding me back. My brain is not good.
36-hour day is a guide for families and people with dementia to learn about the disease.
Okay.
Oh, my brain. I can't remember what I started to say. It's just bad. It's the weather. It's the weather. Something's holding me back. My brain is not good.
36-hour day is a guide for families and people with dementia to learn about the disease and understand how to care and manage for someone with it. This program, Bob and Nancy have been nice enough to invite us both into their homes and their lives and describe what it's really like to live with dementia. So first, can you tell me, where are we right now?
As soon as you say that, I get a total blank. Where am I? I have no idea. Okay, where am I? I'm in my house in, oh my God.
In what city?
I was going to say Long Island. That's where I started.
When given choices, Nancy chooses the right answer. Knowing this is very important as it really helps communicating with her.
Let me help you. Let me give you some choices.
Okay.
All right. Are we in Philadelphia?
No.
Washington?
No.
Baltimore?
Yes.
Bob wasn't really surprised when Nancy was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. He felt getting a diagnosis early was very helpful, enabling him to better understand Nancy's symptoms.
There was a little Caitlin that you saw today.
No, that's not Caitlin. That was one of your students that you were in your class.
Oh. She just looks like Caitlin. Are you sure?
Well, you just have an understanding of what she's going through. I mean, as she's told me, you don't know what it's like to have no mind. Wow. Yeah, no mind.
Thank you. We see from that you see the major concern here from what we've just watched is the word the man said that you don't know what it is like not to have a mind. So the real issue with dementia is that people with dementia don't have a mind of their own. They don't have a mind to think. They don't have the mind to say anything. They don't have the mind anymore. Dementia is an absence of the mind. Dementia is the fact that I don't have a mind anymore. That's what dementia is about. This person doesn't have a mind anymore. And that's why we have to understand as champions that carers cannot provide support appropriately for dementia patients. No, carers cannot do it. It has to be dementia champion. It is a dementia champion is someone that prioritizes dementia above what they are doing. That's a dementia champion. And this disease is so bad that we need to understand that you see people who have lived with their wives and their husband. They've lived together for 40, 50 years. Suddenly they start calling them names, stoning them, saying things about them that never, and these other people have to live with it. That's the damaging effect of this disease. And as champions, we need to understand our responsibilities and be able to support people diagnosed for this disease. Let's watch this other touching story that could help us in understanding how people feel and what they go through when it has to do with dementia.
It isn't the man I married. It isn't the man I knew. It is not the mark of them. A good 18 months ago, he became so difficult to manage. Things became so bad in the house. Papers were lost. Bills were not getting paid. So we went to see a neurologist, and his opinion was early Alzheimer's disease. And this is so tough because we don't know just how it's going to be. We're going through a good patch right now, and I have learned a great deal. It isn't easy, and sometimes the things that are said that are hurtful. But you have to realize it's another person, it's someone taking. It's this cruel, cruel disease that is taking over the man that you knew. The man I married. It isn't the man I knew. It is not the mark of them. It became so difficult to manage. Things became so bad in the house. Papers were lost. Bills were not getting paid. So we went to see my dad. His opinion was early Alzheimer's disease. And this is so tough because we don't know just how it's going to be. We're going through a good patch right now, and I have learned a great deal. But it isn't easy. And sometimes the things that he said that are hurtful. But you have to realize it's another person, someone taking. It's this cruel, cruel disease that is taking over the mind, the man.
Thank you, thank you, everyone. So we can see from that video that we just watched that, just like the lady said, it's just different from the man she married. It's totally different from the person she expected. That's what dementia does to people. And that's how it takes over them completely. They don't know themselves. They don't know who is helping them. They don't know their families. They don't know any relative. They don't want to know anyone anymore. The only thing they know is what comes through their mind and in the things that they do. So as dementia champion, like we said, a dementia champion is not a carer. A dementia champion is not a support worker. A dementia champion is not a nurse. A dementia champion is someone that specializes in taking responsibility for dementia care. That's a dementia champion. So it's a carer that decides to step up and above their responsibility. It's a nurse that decides to add to their responsibility. I said, from today, I want to be conscious about helping people with dementia. From today, I want to pay attention to people with dementia. That's a dementia champion. From today, I want my voice to be heard about dementia. That's a dementia champion. Now we also, let's look at today. When can a champion act? When can you help? When can a champion come in? When can a dementia champion come in? We're not talking about a dementia champion coming in for personal care or giving medication. No. A dementia champion is different. A dementia champion, dementia is divided into two categories. We have the decline stage. The decline stage, which is the stage 1 and 3 of dementia. Stage 1, 2, 3 of dementia. A dementia champion majorly come in as stage 1 to 3. What is the stage 1? The stage 1 is the stage where you detect something is going wrong. Symptoms are becoming to show. You are seeing in stage 2, this person is not getting coordinated again. There's age-related memory loss. This person will not do, you are doing memory tests. Can you count 50 backward? Counting from 50 backward, not 1 to 50. 50, 49, 48, 46. Where are you right now? Oh, what is your address? You are asking service user those questions. You are asking them those little questions as dementia champion, as support worker, as carer, as nurses. You are asking those little questions. When you begin to ask those questions as a champion, and you begin to see in stage 1, 2, 3, you'll be able to understand that dementia or Alzheimer's is stepping in. That's when you see, you're asking them, they are looking for the right word to describe what they are trying to say. They are trying to say something, they cannot get it. That's why we established in the beginning of this training that people can have dementia from age 35. People can have dementia when they are looking for the right word to say, but they can't find it, when they are trying to say something, but they can't have it, when they are trying to organize and plan things, but it's just going off. Those are early stages of dementia. They have it. And what can you do as a champion at that stage? Because we said dementia is reversible. Only Alzheimer's is a permanent disease. So what can you do as a champion from that early stage? What can you do as a champion? We will go to that. We have the stage 4. Stage 4 is the stage what we call the steady decline stage. Stage 1 to 3, you have the decline stage. Stage 4 is the stage where you begin to see the steady decline stage. Stage 4 is the stage where the person is having difficulty in simple arithmetics. Where is your money? I don't know. Can you trade? How much have you collected? I know I've collected a lot of money, but I don't know. These are stage 4. Little arithmetics are missing. Calculation is not getting done. This is not getting sorted. Inability to manage finances and bills. These are stage 4 of dementia. As I'm, the things we can do to help people reverse these things are possible. They can reverse it. And that's where we are as champions. Stage 5 is a stage of moderate severe decline. That stage, difficulty in dressing appropriately. They can wear different clothes. They can wear the opposite side of clothes. These are still stage 5. Significant confusion. You can see it in them. You can see all the inability to recall simple details about themselves, such as their own phone numbers. You can say stage 6. You can see stage 6, confusion and awareness of their environment. They don't know where they are. They can't trace what address they are. They're in a nursing home. They call it, this is my father's house. These are stage 6 of dementia. Then you have the stage 7, which is the last stage of dementia. This is a severe stage of dementia. And at that stage, Alzheimer's has stepped in. And at this stage, this is a terminal state of dementia. They start going around the street. They start throwing things. They start doing things abnormal. They start doing things unpredictable. This is stage 7 of dementia. The question is, how can a champion help in all of these stages? Particularly all these stages of things. Number 1 is avoid things that damage the blood vessels. You need to avoid things that damage the blood vessels. If you can avoid those things, you will be able to reverse dementia. And what are the things that damage, things, when we say things that damages blood vessels, we're talking about things like, we are talking about things like high blood pressure. You are doing things that causes high blood pressure. When you are doing, because obesity,
alcohol.
you have alcohol intake, you are taking alcohol, you are doing all of this. There is no how you can, you see, let me tell you, people say that almost everyone have signs of dementia, but people reverse it, but some decline it and damage it completely. So you have people who forget to pay a bill. You have people who forget to arrange themselves. You have people who forget there's a crucial, important meeting that have to do with their life and their existence, and they forget it. These are issues of dementia. These are issues of memory loss. But you can reverse it. But when you when people as champions of dementia, when you see people in those stages and they are taking alcohol, they are going to party, taking all of those things, all they are doing is increasing the damages of dementia. Because you see, it is very simple. Your entire body is controlled from your brain. And that's why you see your brain sends signals to your spinal cord at the back. It goes through them, go down, send signals to your body begin to act. When that brain is damaged, when there's a problem with the brain, every part of your body will dysfunction. So you avoid things that damages your blood vessel. taking alcohol, things that causes high blood pressure, things like obesity, all those things, you avoid them. You avoid them completely. You talk to people to avoid them. Things like diabetes, you take action against those things. You work on them, because as long as they are in your body, they are going to affect your vessels. And when they do affect them, they're going to affect your brain. That's why you see them come up with those things. So you have to avoid those things. Number two is that physical activities. You have to do physical activities. Go for exercises. Go out. Talk to people. We're in training like this. This is how to activate yourself. Physical activities. Things that happen. Go out. Get a bicycle. Ride a bike. Do things that you don't used to do. Join things. Task yourself. Do things. You see, because this is where dementia champions come. When they see people who have dementia, when you are attending to someone and the person is having a memory loss as a carer, then your dementia champion cap needs to be worn. Now we need to make a program for this person. And this is where you see people deteriorate. You see people die very quickly when they are being diagnosed for dementia, because immediately they get diagnosed, champions are not there for them. There are no champions to help them. There are no champions to now say, okay, this person is now diagnosed for dementia. This person now needs a champion. And what is the job of a champion? To create activities for them. Take them to the community. Take them for shopping. Take them for holidays. Those are activities that can help them out. And number three, as a champion that you need to be conscious about, as a champion, one of the other things you need to be conscious about is that there is no way somebody is diagnosed for dementia and they continue to eat processed food, canned food. And this is the problem with healthcare in the UK. These people have to get food from Tesco. They have to get food from paper. They have to get everything from canned food that is already. See, the problem is this. The brain is already lost its function. You can't continue to give them canned and processed food anymore. At any stage that dementia is diagnosed, they are meant to be eating organic food. Food that don't have any microbiotic organs in them. Food that don't have anything. You can't be buying Nando's for somebody already diagnosed with dementia. When you know the chicken that they use in Nando's might just spend maybe 1 week, 1 month for the chicken to be red and ready. Because they just inject the chicken grow out and they sell it. You can't be buying them processed food. You can't be buying them junk food. You can't go to Tesco and buy them food and arrange it in the fridge or freezer. Yeah. And you're microwaving it for them and giving them to eat. You're damaging them the more. At that point is a stage where they need proper nutrition. That's why they tell you, even
but sometimes the family prefer it that way.
But those are family who don't know. That's why you're a dementia champion. That's why you're a champion to tell them. Now let me explain to you. When you continue to get processed food into this person's body, whose brain is already malfunctioned because the vessels are damaged, because there are damages in the body of this person. If this person is doing this, then there's a problem, because this is where the problem is. When people begin to have challenges with their brain, then they begin to have stroke. And when you see, this is why families are there. You have to talk to them. As a champion, you have to explain to them. As a champion, you have to make them know. That's the job of a champion, is to say, listen to me. We cannot continue doing this if we want to help this person. We cannot continue to give them this food if we want to help them. You know, you get to, particularly in the nursing home, they have regulation for nutritional balance. They have a nutritionalist that plan the meal. They have this. But particularly for those that are in domiciliary care that live in their houses, majority of the things that contribute and damage their brain the more is what people give them to eat. Because they don't have resident carers. They don't have carers that live with them. The family go to Tesco, get some pack of food, throw it in the freezer. And they give this food to them. They eat it. They tell you, I want to take soup today. You ask them what type of soup is in the can. You take the can, you open the can, you pour it, you give them, they start drinking it. And somebody said this soup is without preservative. And I asked the question, you said this food is without preservative. How did you keep it in can? And you tell me it's going to expire in 1 year. And you're telling me there's no preservative inside. That's not true. Something must be preserving the food inside the can for 12 months. Because when I put it in my own can, it's not preserved. So you must have done something that make it preserve. And that's no matter what you call it, no matter what language you give to it, is a preservative. So anytime you are giving a dementia patient, on Alzheimer patient, a processed food, we are only contributing to the damages of their health. The other part is that build new brain cells. Encourage them to build new brain cells. You know, one of the things about North America is that when somebody is diagnosed for early stage of dementia, it is mandatory that they give them this thing you call puzzles, you know, puzzles that you arrange. They give them puzzles. They start arranging it. They give them newspaper that the back of it is a big puzzle. They start tracing the spelling and the words at the back of it. Why? Because they believe that as long as an older person that is diagnosed for early stage of dementia continue to play the puzzle, continue to solve the puzzle, they are reactivating their brains. It is called brain re-engineering. You are re-engineering their brain. You are going back. You are taking it back. They are beginning to play puzzles. They are beginning to arrange puzzles. They are beginning to put them together. And in that way, what you're doing is that you are re-engineering their brain for them, reactivating it for them. That's why you have to make sure they are building new brain cells. They are doing new things. You are taking them out, taking a walk together. Oh, there is a game. I want us to go for it together. The only thing that makes dementia and Alzheimer's in Africa and Asia more worse is because when people show the symptom of the disease, people give up on them. They don't give them any activities. They don't give them anything to do. They start pushing them out to the street. They start doing anything. And the more they are not doing any activity, the worse the disease becomes for them. I see someone raise a hand. Shola, please, do you want to? I think
no.
somebody.
Yeah, no, yes. I just want to add to, hello?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to add to what you're saying. You know, people used to say what is good for your heart is also good for your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just about eating healthy. It's part of major part of reducing dementia.
Thank you. That's correct.
Thank you.
That's correct. Absolutely correct. So we spent a lot of time on that. You know, one of the things I know is that when I did my healthcare management course in North America, one of the things that I was specifically taught about healthcare management is nutrition, the food the people eat. In fact, there's a guideline for nutrition for people diagnosed for dementia. It is a must that this is the food that they should eat. This is the way their food should be balanced. You can't buy, there is no way. Let's just say it straight as champions today. There is no way you can buy processed food for a dementia patient and they will not get worse. There is no way. That's why you see the failure of the healthcare system. And as people begin, as dementia comes in, they start managing it with medication, leaving all other activities that is associated with dementia that can make people live their life better. So
Yeah.
as champions today, the awareness we are giving you is to know that you can champion this cause. You can champion this cause by explaining to families, by explaining to people, by letting them know this cannot happen. We cannot continue like this. If you want this person to continue to deteriorate, fine. But if you want us to help this person to, why not? We can. We can do it. But in doing this, we have to, as champion, take note of these 5 activities that a dementia person needs for us to help them live better. Now we're going to go to dementia champion. Explain that your role is to act. You are acting on behalf of dementia patient and their family. You are advocating for them. Like someone said, what if their family want it? The duty of an advocate is to say what is right on behalf of someone. Also, that is the duty of care. You are saying it and say, no, we cannot do this for this person. You are making the best interest decision for them. They say, no, we cannot do this. You are liaising for them. You are reaching out to government bodies. You are reaching out to people. You are promoting ongoing culture of change, helping them with practices and activities. You are sharing best information with them and you're supporting them. That's the duty of a champion. That's what a champion does. That's why I said a champion is not a carer. A champion is not a nurse. A champion is a professional in dementia care. It manages dementia care itself. And what can you do? How can you be a champion? There is already a government body in the UK for dementia champion. We're going to publish it out. You can go on there and register in your local community as a dementia champion. You register, I want to register a dementia champion. They're going to send you material, send you ID card, send you all of that and the rest of it. They're going to send all of that to you. You can join. There is a body recognized by UK government. So you can join dementia champion and you begin to work as a champion, not just as a carer. So that's and also what we are doing, I'm told from what I've looked at, from what this organization, Aiye Life, is doing, is to put up materials together and share it with everybody that is participating in the training, provided you have registered. They're going to put materials together and send it to you on Dementia Champion, how you can register, what you need to do in registration, how to become a champion, so that when you are addressing family, you say to them, I'm a registered dementia champion. I'm a recognized dementia champion. So I want to advise you about dementia. And we're going to be having this training regularly to familiarize everyone with the subject of dementia. So I'm just going to take a recap of today's training, and we take questions and answer before we go. Then we'll be able to get this. Like I said, a healthy brain is like a green leaf. A healthy brain is like a green leaf on a tree. When that brain becomes a problem, then you see this. It was from being healthy, green leaf, to turning the color and losing its leaves. So most of the brain you see in dementia, they have lost their leaves. They are now empty. You can't expect. The problem with us is that we put the picture of a green brain. Every time you're attending to someone with dementia, have this picture in your head. I'm only attending to a tree with empty leaves. Have that in your mind, and that will help you to work with them. That will help you to assist them. Like I said, dementia is not only for old people. There is young onset dementia, which can take on people from the age of 35, 40 and above. So when people begin to forget to pay their bills, when people begin to forget to take little things responsibility, when people begin to have so much money they can't take it, you need to help them. You need to support them. Stop taking alcohol. You need to stop it.
And
you need to work
smoking.
Stop smoking. You need to work on your health. Stop doing this thing. Because when you see, we have people that forget they have an examination. They are young. They just forget they have an examination. But people don't know that it's dementia. When people begin to forget things like that, the first line of action is to take care of their health. Stop smoking. Then you can reverse the dementia. You can reverse it.
Sorry. Can I ask you a question?
Yes, please go ahead.
Like what you just spoke about now about stop drinking. I once talked to the family of one of my service users that the drink is affecting the dementia patient, the service user rather. And all she said was, sorry, that's the only thing that keeps him home. That's the only thing that he's an alcoholic. And I'm like, I'm shocked because I was like, if you people actually care about this person, I've noticed whenever he takes this alcohol, he doesn't react to us well. But whenever he's not taking it or they didn't buy it for him, he's always good, at least for the whole day. Whenever we come around, he's fine.
You see, the problem is that
there's a situation like is it that we're meant to report these to after reporting to our company? Is it like as a what they call it, dementia champion? What can you do?
Okay. Can I just add a little bit to that?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much for that question, Mr. Malik. Yeah, my name is Matthew Lowokiri, and you see, it is like we are talking about two problems. Alcoholic or alcoholism is a disease of the brain as a mental health problem. Dementia, yeah, can be predisposed to by taking, alcohol. Yes, it damages the brain. So those people that are saying until it takes is alcohol, I hope they too are not collaborating with this patient, sharing alcohol, which they think is helping. The purpose of this training is to disabuse their mind, from saying alcohol is the only best opportunity. There are other diversional therapy which will be training people in future, plus what our resource person has been saying all day today. You see, we do diversional therapy in psychological care, whereby when it's the craving for alcohol, we train their carers, we let the carer knows the importance of the negative impact of this alcohol. And then we can refer them as well to maybe an alcoholic organization where people are now using patches, they recommend patches to stop the alcohol of that. So we are treating symptomatically and we are treating psychologically at the same time. So this is the area I think I will stop for now.
Thank you. That's very, very correct. I just saw, is Shola raising hand? I see Shola name. You raising your hand?
Yeah, I raised it's the one I raised before. That's
okay,
fine.
okay.
We as a carer who is in a working care setting, you face a different every day. You see different with family, with friend of patients. You always suggest what is not healthy for the patient. So it puts you in a difficult position at times. But with training, so we'll be able to cope with the whatever you face in your daily, day-to-day activities at work.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So one of the things we would do is I don't know if the organization are looking at it, but it's one of the things that I would recommend that they look at in terms of looking at the psychological diversion for services and patients like that. Maybe in the course of their training, I recommend that the organization look at it, because it's actually a training on itself on how to divert a dementia patient attention from what they are asking for. Because one of the things is that when they begin to ask for things that can damage their health, and we continue to give them because they're asking for it, yes, they have the right to choice. They have the right to choice. It's their right. It's part of their right in care. But however, we must also know that we have the MCA and we have the DOL. We have the Mental Capacity Act. Then we also have the Deprivation of Liberty. We have to check the line in between the two and how we can balance the two together and help that service user to understand that although you have the right of choice, although you have this, do you have the mental capacity to make this decision in your own best interest? Yes, you have the mental capacity. Okay, we have established that. Do you know the consequences of this action? Yes, I'm ready for the consequences of this action. Then that's fine. We will respect that choice. However, as champions, our duty is to divert your attention. Our duty is to help you understand the implication. And our duty is to give you an option of what you can have in place of what you have requested for that can satisfy the same desire that you have and you want to obtain from what will damage you. That's our duty as champions.
Yes, thank you very much.
Victor, also, you know what you just said? It's also the special mental health nurses that put dolls in place where mental capacity comes in. So even as carers or champions, they should have a little booklet saying dolls, that this person is not allowed to do this or not make these decisions because it's a problematic thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Sorry.
true. That's true. Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Just in addition to what Sahen, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrongly. I'm sorry. It's quite important that the multidisciplinary team, when they are organizing their meetings, I think the dementia champion could be invited.
Yes,
And
yes.
they make a decision where the dementia champion will know the care plan is in place. Yeah, if the family says that's what they want, actually, we will let them know that is the Deprivation of Liberty or the Mental Capacity Act is there, because you need to cover our back. Even though we are really passionate about looking after these people with dementia, we want to reduce the impact on the brain. We want this person to be, to be able to do at least little bit of his activities of daily living with support that will be less restrictive, will be less aggressive towards the champion or the carer that are looking after these people. We have to sit with the dementia champion who knows the in and out, and then sitting with the family who in collaboration are making a very good decision. This patient is confirmed no capacity. Now, in the advanced care, we might, if he's looking for something to drink, this man might be thirsty, maybe he wants water, or maybe he wants a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, or even, what we have, the soft drinks, or, in the fridge,
maybe
cold
lemonade,
drink, lemonade. Thank you
all
very
those
much.
things can go down from that.
Exactly. So these are some of the areas we have to come in and put it black and white on the care plan, so that when this man is observed, apart from checking other areas, because they can be aggressive because of simple being wet, they can be, aggressive because they are hungry, they may be all sorts of things. These are the area the dementia champion we want to educate the carers who are less privileged to have, dementia care training. So we will come in as a representative of that particular client. It's our passion, it's our patient by all standards, because we love them to be at peace. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's very sound. So we said dementia, we also look at it, we said dementia is an umbrella word, it's not a name, it's not dementia is not the disease itself. It's just an umbrella word for all of the diseases. I would say under dementia, we have Alzheimer's, which is almost like 50 to 75% of the disease. We have the vascular disease. We have the lewy body. We have the frontotemporal disease. So all of these are contribution. All of this is what we find and that makes up dementia. Then we also say that everyone is unique with dementia. We talk about the brain. We look at the LD brain. Then we look at the dementia brain. This is a brain of an elder person. This is a brain of a dementia person. When they begin to take that, when they begin to take things, when they begin to drink, when they begin to have all of those things, this is where it is. Like I said, one of the things I said is that a dementia person, please let's take note of this as champion. When we take note of a dementia person, the only way a champion can understand what is going on in the life of the dementia person, because they cannot talk appropriately, because they cannot say what they want to say. There are two major ways to know: the urinary elimination and bowel movement. The bowel elimination and urinary elimination. There are two major parts of ways that you can know what is going on in the life of the dementia person. What they eliminate, the color of their stool, the smell of their stool, how it look like. All of that can help you to determine what is going on in their body. The urinary elimination, the color of their urine, the test on their urine, it can tell you if they have urine infection or not. Sometimes they are shouting at you. Sometimes they are making noise. Sometimes they are throwing things at you. It's nothing different. They just have a UTI. So sometimes you just need to check that. As champion, you need to know all of this together. The brain is not the same. A healthy brain for a dementia person is not the same for a healthy brain for a normal person. So we need to take note of that. And like we said, dementia and Alzheimer's and all of that, we have the reversible, the non-reversible, which you have to take note of. The responsibility of dementia champion, how it is diagnosed, how you can test dementia, the cognitive ability of people, asking them about their bills, tell them to count number to the back. They are giving account of this. They are looking at this. But you know, as champions, you can't come to conclusion that somebody has dementia. You can only trace the symptoms and report the symptom to other healthcare team. And I think that's the end of this. I can see some people raising their hand. Let's quickly take those questions, then we can end the. Any questions or contribution, please?
Sorry.
Let's take your questions and contribution, please.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah,
Go ahead, please.
Yes, my name is Tony. My question is, we have been told that they have to eat healthy and that thin foods and all whatnot are not good for them. Can we specifically be told the type of food that is good for them?
Okay, there is what we call the UK government food guide. We can also send it to you. We can also send it to you if you are registered as one of the participants. We can email those materials to you. There's what we call the UK government food guide. And that food guide also tells you when how to balance their meal. You know, one of the problems is that we have is that, you know, there are food you cannot give to a diabetic patient. There are food that you cannot give to an Alzheimer's patient. There are food you cannot give to. So what happened with the UK government health food guide is each of the diseases of a person tells you the kind of food they can eat. So what we can do for you is that I can do that for the organization, help them to put together the food guide and send it to them. They can email it to all the participants. I said, okay, these are the food guide that you can follow because the list of them, depending on on some kind of diseases and all of that they could have. If you work in the nursing home, you will see others may be having this particular food, but they will tell you that particular resident cannot eat that food because that person has got a disease that food cannot be given to them. So we will give you that and send that to everyone.
Thank you. Can I have ask one more question, please?
Please go ahead.
Some of us are not healthcare professionals. We don't have much idea of these things that go on. Thank God for this training. But can we know what our limitations are? Especially it has to do with the law.
Okay, for dementia champions, a dementia champions is, like we said, is an advocate. And you can advocate for anyone. You are free to advocate for anyone. All you have to do is, if you are not a healthcare professional, you can do some little training in healthcare, which you call the mandatory healthcare training. And part of it is awareness of dementia. So, and mental health. So part of it, they are just little training. Some of them is just 1 hour and thereabout. We can share link with you, or the organization can share link with you on things you can read. But as a dementia champion, you don't have a limit because your job is to advocate and monitor and speak on behalf of people. And you're only going to speak on what is right. You're going to speak on what you know. But what we advise you is that for every field of advice you want to offer to people, make sure that you receive appropriate education on them before you offer it out.
Hello?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, my question is, can dementia get worse suddenly? You know, when you have patients with dementia, which you've been managing them for maybe a couple of months, couple of years, are like stable in mind. So can dementia get worse suddenly?
Yes, the issue is that can dementia get worse suddenly? Yes, it depends on what is going on. For example, if somebody is diagnosed for, let's say this person is diagnosed for stage 2 dementia, and the person has urine infection, you should expect a worse reaction. So it depends on activity that has taken place in between stage 1 and stage 2. If there are some activities that take place, if there are some things that happen, it depends. When this person begins to take alcohol uncontrollably, when this person begins to take action uncontrollably, it can get worse beyond the level you expected. But one of the things that make dementia go above its stage is when there are health-related issues.
Okay.
When there are health-related issues, they go above their normal stages of program.
Yeah. Oh, I attended a training related to dementia before, and you know we have different type of dementia.
Yes.
They said vascular dementia.
Yeah.
Is the dangerous one that causes problems with mental ability in the people with dementia. Is that right?
Yeah, you know the thing about vascular dementia is a general term you have related to reasoning and all of that. It's just one of the most dangerous, because what it does is that I'm trying to put it in a way that I don't know if you're an healthcare professional.
Yeah,
but
I am. I work in healthcare setting, so.
Okay, so one of the things about vascular dementia, what I want to explain that is that, you know, one of the things vascular dementia, why they call it most dangerous is because it usually precedes a stroke event.
Yeah.
So when there is a stroke, and what is a stroke? A stroke is the blockage of an artery of the brain. When the artery of the brain is blocked, then you have a stroke, and that's why they said when you have the right side of your brain, the artery of the right side of your brain affected, then you have the left side of your body paralyzed in stroke. So that's what we say, that because usually the reaction of vascular dementia is a combination of so many parts of the body. That's why they call it more dangerous, because you know, the stroke with it and other diseases with it, it gets it very, very worse. But if you have other kind of dementia, yes, you can live normal. You can just be having them reoccurring and all of that. But why they call it dangerous? Because that's why you see people that drinks a lot, they end up having stroke. They end up having disfigured face and mouth, and that begin to affect their body, because you see, it's all the blockage of the arteries. And most cases, when people don't discover on time that their arteries have been blocked and quickly go through a medical process to get it cleared, it leads to stroke. And when it leads to stroke, it means there is no flow of blood in that side, in that part of the body, and it's coming from the left side of the brain to affect the right side of the body, and there is nothing you can do. It's going to lead to dementia. And that's why they tell you that vascular dementia is very, very dangerous. And it is true. It's very dangerous.
Okay.
Let me just add a little bit to that. Thank you very much, Mr. Shola. Vascular, as it is being called, is a vessel problem. And the vessels that supplies brain to the head, to the brain, is majorly affected. It can create complications. When this damage is done to the blood vessel to the brain, everything is disturbed. That is what is called a circle of Willis in the brain. I don't want to go too technical, because of, you know, not every one of us have the knowledge of anatomy and physiology. Because if you are going into that, it may be a little bit confusing. So that is why when they say, you know, a vascular type of dementia is dangerous, it's just because of the fact that there is a problem of circulation. Circulatory system is affected. So when the circulatory system is affected, there are possibility of like what the resource person has said, stroke. In fact, sometimes sudden death may happen because if there's circulation. You understand? So some of these things are the things why my resource person has been talking about the type of food, the type of what exercise we would need, and then the type of support that we provide for this kind of people, the working together, working as a team, working with the people, the multidisciplinary team of the particular place where this patient is located. I mean, people with dementia is located, whether they are in their home or in their hospital or in the care home. So it is essential with the presentation of this patient, with the symptoms and signs which they are presenting, you will know that there is a big difference. There is what is even called mixed dementia. Just is limitless. Mixed dementia with vascular and even the Alzheimer's. When you put all this together, there are a lot of things. But champions should let the carers or the relative or the patient to know more about all this. Sit with the team, discuss when they are doing their MDT, they will ask for their opinion before a care plan will be arrived at.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, please. We're
Can
just
I ask
going
a
to
question, please?
Yes, please, you can.
Yeah, I can see that Mr. Solomon, you have done so extensively in this wonderful paper there that centers on dementia. And when I saw that the brain trip is so scary, it is like brain witness, which is very, very scary indeed. My first question is this: is dementia is hereditary? Is it hereditary? Can you hear me?
Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
Okay. If dementia is hereditary, what are the controlling diets can someone showcase in order not to suffer from this dementia? Because when I heard that dementia can start even at the age of 35, which is a bit scary. But if there are something from dementia in one's family, so what are those ways? How can you control that? That's question number one. Then my second question is this: we are in UK, where the government, they've created the avenue and they manage it very well. Like a sister that asked this question the other time, we came from Africa, where the dementia is synonymous to madness. Which way, or is there any way you can enlighten people about how they will handle this, so that the way people are suffering from dementia will be so minimized in Africa? Thank you so much.
Okay, now the truth about hereditary dementia or dementia that can be passed down to family is that is not common. It's not that common that hereditary dementia is passed, but they happen. They happen. So that's why it's not common, but it's one of the factors that a doctor is going to look at and say that, okay, let's check this, let's ask this question. However, this is the way that you can prevent it. When you have identified that it is in the family, you need to take these steps that we have mentioned. That's the only way to prevent it. If you have identified that it's in the family, then you can, you see, I can't say there's dementia in my family and I'm drinking and I'm smoking. I can't do that, because what happened is that I have identified that there is possibility of a danger, but rather than me take an action to prevent it, I continue to drink, I continue to smoke. I continue to do all these things. I don't control my diet. I don't regulate my food because it is hereditary. It is there. So it's like a latent TB. So why do you want to wake it up? Why do you want to start it up? Why do you want to bring it over? Why do you want to make it happen when you already know it's in existence? So the fact that you already know is in a family, the best preventive measure is to now start to take activities and do things that will help you to prevent it. Not smoking, engage in activities, register in a gym, start taking social activities, not social activities that lead to drinking, not social activities that lead to smoking. Is to avoid those classes of social activities. And now take social activities, the one that, like what we are having today. There's a training I want to enjoy. I want to build new brain cells. I want to build new activities. I want to do. That's why, let me tell you this. If you look at UK very well, you will discover that by the time you look at the percentage of people with dementia and people without dementia, you will hardly see educated people who live a very good life having dementia or a major dementia. So you will hardly see them because why? They're either one office manager at a level, they are regulated, they are professors, they are teachers, you will hardly see a professor being diagnosed for dementia compared to someone who didn't go to school and spending his life anyhow. They are two different things. Why? Because their brain is always running. And when you are engaging your brain is not frozen off by alcohol. When you are engaging the brain is running. What the brain is doing is that the brain is working. And as long as the brain is working, there cannot be dementia.
Thank you very much.
Because what is dementia itself? It is the dullness of the brain. It is the absence of the brain.
Yeah.
Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, just to corroborate what Mr. Solomon has been saying, by definition, dementia is a progressive degenerative process. Progressive, degenerative process of the brain cells. You can see the diagram from green to like yellow and yellow to red. Is a progressive degenerative process of the brain cells. You see, we don't need to be scared, although I'm happy that has been said, just like what is now on the slide. You see, when you start to notice this thing, even though it happened in your family, thank God we are a bit educated. Even for those that are not educated, that is why Aiye Life is trying to raise champions now. We want to raise champions even to go into the community. This awareness is not going to be limited to UK, the Black African minority ethnicity alone. It's going to go further by the special grace of God when we are supported. This is where, because like you said, many people are out there with fear. Hey, my family has got this. That is automatic. I've seen a lot of people saying the same thing, and they are so, so the belief is so hard that they believe they are going to have something like that. Whereas we sit with them, we show them some pictures that it is not true that because your father has it, you will have it. And if your father has it, what are the causes? What did you notice has led to it? Just like Mr. Solomon has said. What has led to it? So when you see what has led to it, then you can start to adjust. Perhaps you are the same way which your father was doing, or which your mother was doing, or which your sister was had it as hard. Is it smoking? Is it on cannabis? Is it on any drugs at all? These are the things that can lead to destructive process of the brain cells. It's a gradual thing. Just like what my brother was saying earlier, Mr. Shola saying something suddenly. Dementia doesn't come suddenly. there is always a process. It graduates from one thing to the other before now total collapse comes when immediate diagnosis or assessment has been made, or the person has not been sent to the hospital for proper management. The dementia champion, this Aiye Life is all about, is to help the community here, raise many champions that will be out there. In fact, get a place after the pandemic for counseling, where people can come, even when they are having minor loss of memory. They're like the first stage, second stage, third stage. When they come to us, we can bring out this picture and show them, what did you do? What were you doing when your brain was green? When your brain was becoming yellow and you are losing your memory, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, before it gets there. These are the precautions. Aiye Life is out to build that confidence in people suspected or susceptible to developing any type of dementia at all. So there's no need for us to fear. You are going to be a champion. We want you to go and represent Aiye Life wherever they are having issues with dementia, either a care home, either with individual, or wherever. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have two people. We just take those two questions. Reverend Tony is raising his hand, and Shaheen is raising her hand. So we just take those two questions. I'll be able to close within the time stipulated. Okay, Reverend Tony, you want to go ahead? Or Shaheen? Can you unmute yourself if you want to go ahead, please?
Hi. Sorry to be rude. It's very good subject and everything, but I just wanted to ask, it's my tea time to start my tea.
Oh, no problem. No problem. It's okay. We are rounding up in 2 minutes, so we'll be done right now. Okay. So thank you, everyone. We are just going to publish the last poll right now. The pool will be showing
details to me later if I need anything else to.
Thank you. We are just publishing the last pool now.
Thank you very much.
There's a pool on your screen. If you don't mind, you can help us to vote. Do you think you can champion dementia? If yes, you can just select yes. If no, you can select no. This will help us to now get in touch with you further. Do you think you can champion dementia? Please just check, just select yes or no. If you think you can champion dementia, do you want to be a dementia champion? If you want to be a dementia champion, please just tick for us. So we have people who are interested in becoming a dementia champion and all of that. And please, like we said, please ensure you register with on the registration so you can get your certificate that you have attended the Dementia Champion Awareness Training today. Please ensure you do that and you sign up that on the website so your certificate can come in. This will help you going forward to put your things together, and when you go for job and advertisement and all of that, you can tell them, I'm not just a carer, I'm a dementia champion, and this can be helpful. On this note, I want to thank everyone for listening to me, and it's a privilege to be here. I do this always, and I thank you for listening. Thank you for your contributions, and I hope to see you another time. And thank you, Aiye Life, for having me today. And I hope you have a good time and enjoy yourself. For all the 22 participants, thank you for coming. I'll see you again, maybe with another company, I don't know, but we'll see again. Thank you so much, and have a very, very good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please, can I have a word, please, before you go, Mr. Solomon?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Excuse me, please.
Please have a word. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, like I said, I am the chief executive of this Aiye Life company. I really want to appreciate our resource person today. He is awesome. He's wonderful. He has given me, and I guess every one of us here today, a gem an awareness about what dementia is all about. And now the fear of who a dementia person is should be out of our mind, and that we are equipped to disabuse everyone out there when they are talking about dementia as a mental illness, as a death sentence, or as something that cannot be cured, that cannot be treated. We have all had the information, and I want us to go home with this in our mind, in our heart. And again, that dementia people they are our friend, please. They are human beings like us. He has mentioned a lot of things to tell us how we can help these people. Summarily, dementia people are manageable when we follow the protocol, when we follow the training we have had today. And not only this training will continue, like I said, it's still going to be ongoing. We are going to have your name on our database. We will be calling you from time to time. Even when we get our bigger office, you can refer people to us where you find it difficult to attend to them. Our office is open 24/7. You can call us on the phone. You can reach us on our email. You can talk to us on, maybe you're on our WhatsApp or wherever, Instagram. And please check our Facebook page, our Instagram page, our YouTube page. You will be hearing things going on there, things that inspire us to be real dementia champion. And if you have any question, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you very much, every one of you. I want to give special respect to my wife and to all the team that has made this thing possible for us, because I've been in and out of the house every day, every night, looking for things to do to make this thing a success. All my team members, they have been out every time. Although we did not publish some of those things, we'll come and sit down and rub mind together before we were able to locate this powerful resource person, Mr. Solomon, and coming on board to dish out all this very important information to us. May the Lord bless each and every one of us. God bless you. And I want to say bye-bye in the absence of no contribution.
Thank you so
very,
much.
very much.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
good
you.
one. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.